You know, the other day I was on YouTube. I was on my news, well, not my news feed, my dashboard, and I saw a video. I think it was like, why do animals change color? I clicked on it and thought it was very interesting. You know, back in the day when I was around 15 years old, I did a lot of research into animals to prepare to write my second book, titled Intervention. You know, so I learned a lot about animals, and I always found animals to be interesting. I spent a great deal of time on National Geographic too. I love National Geographic. I love watching documentaries on animals. I used to watch, before I watched comedy and political videos on YouTube, I used to love just sitting back and watching documentaries on animals. I used to just love it. Still do. I haven't recently, but you know, from time to time I check out some videos on some animals. I love animals. But as I watched this video from, I think it was like on the side channel, some scientific channel the video was on, and I listened to as to why animals change colors, I had a thought. And that thought was, this information won't help me with anything. I mean, I've already written the book. Maybe even if I were to edit the book, I mean, I find there's nothing that video taught me that I could add to it. And then I thought, if I were a farmer, learning why chameleons change their colors with their hormones, or I forgot the specific reasons why, but learning how chameleons change colors, it wouldn't help me feed my cows anymore, right? And so I had a thought here, and I began to realize something, especially when it comes to the degradation of our society, and that is, science is not the end-all be-all of our human existence. That's the conclusion I came up to. But the leading thoughts to that was, specific information can only help with specific disciplines. A farmer will not find any use for quantum physics. Again, we're going back to the farmer. We can go with the stockbroker. The stockbroker, his mathematics is his forte. If you teach him about quantum physics and about string theory, he can't use it in the stock market. He can't use it to decide what stocks he should buy and what shares he should sell. It might be interesting to think about, but in the grander scheme of things, in relation to his job, that won't help him out. But the skeptics and the atheist cult, the anti-theists, I think is the correct name for them, think that religion is destroying our society, it's the worst thing ever, and that religion needs to be replaced with science and reasoning. And I'm making this video to challenge that. I'm making this video to talk about how there's no way that science can completely encapsulate our existence as human beings. If you got rid of religion, you will not fix the world. That's the point of this video. If you get rid of religion, you're not fixing the world, because religion is not the problem of the world. In fact, we have a true adversary, except we're just so focused on fighting amongst ourselves that we allow them to get away with whatever they want to do. So that's what this video is about. We're going to talk about how science will not save the world, and how the anti-theists and the atheists are ultimately wasting their time. Let me preface this video by saying that I like science as a discipline, and by science I mean observing the world and trying to figure out why things are the way they are. I do. I like it. I just explained how I used to watch different documentaries on it all the time. But I like philosophy a lot more than I do science. In fact, if I had the choice, the option to be a philosopher or to be a scientist, I would absolutely be a philosopher. Hands down, 100%. Because even though while science is definitely interesting and has helped fix a lot of problems that we've had in our society, it hasn't made us any better. You know, a lot of people think that, the anti-theists think that religion is holding us back, that religion puts too many rules on us, and it's keeping us down, man. A lot of people think that, if we got rid of religion, all the problems in the world is going to go away, except religion doesn't cause all the problems in our world. It may be something of a symptom, but definitely not the cause. You know, it's like, getting rid of religion would be like getting rid of a fever caused by some virus, but not attacking the virus itself. It's like a lot of supplements work that way, actually. A lot of supplements attack the symptoms of different sicknesses, but it doesn't actually cure it. It doesn't kill the bacteria or the virus. viruses. You know, that's how the anti-theists look at it. They think that religion is so horrible and detrimental, and they say that science should replace it. But then I think, no, absolutely not. You know, because a lot of people like to talk about how our technology has made life better. Well, no, life hasn't gotten better due to technology. I mean, it certainly has gotten easier, but not better. The quality of our life isn't any better. In fact, it's worse. I'll give you an example. Let's say I have this iPhone, right? It's a cool piece of machinery. We have computers and the camera I'm using to record this. Okay, now let's put this all together in our internet, and I can Skype. I can talk to someone who's in Africa right now. But if I'm telling the person in Africa that you're a fat, ugly, dumbass, well, then who cares, right? You know, in this example, you know, even though we have the technology to connect to each other, if I'm giving you nothing but negativity, well, that's not helping your self-esteem. But if I write you a handwritten letter about how much I love you and care about you and how much I'd like to see you succeed in life, it may take weeks, months to get the letter to you, but ultimately it will have a greater impact on your view as who you are. It will ultimately help you out more because I'm sending you positivity. So while science and technology has definitely made our lives easier, it hasn't made it better. Especially when you think about how, morally speaking, we now see a whole bunch of women getting on television and twerking their behinds off. We have Kim Kardashian, who's famous for nothing, making money off of a stupid game that doesn't help anyone do anything. We have iPhones, we have all this technology that can we have Google at our fingertips, but we don't even use it to look up things that help us be better people. We don't use it to become intelligent. We don't use it to become nicer or kinder to each other. We use it to hurt each other, to destroy our moral foundation. You know, and see, here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me a lot. When the anti-theists talk about religion, they say religion is such a horrible thing. Except, I look at the purpose and the intent of religion, and I see, but first let me say that really when they say religion, they're actually talking about Christianity. That's really what they mean when they say religion. They really mean Christianity, and sometimes they might refer to Islam, but that's what they're talking about. So if you're talking about that in Christianity, well, Christianity is really a religion that teaches you how to treat people. You know, it's a religion revolving around loving yourself and loving people as much as you love you. I say, to attack a religion, to attack a practice that teaches people to love each other, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But then I realize they get this bastardized version of it, like Catholicism, which is really just Christian and pagan ideals mixed together into one ugly creature. Or you'll get a lot of bastardized versions of these stories told to you by these anti-theists who will that has no understanding of the text that they're reading and will just bullface lie. Well, not even lie. They'll just misinterpret the text and just be wrong about it, right? They'll regurgitate this BS to you and try to tell people that the truth isn't the truth. They're trying to tell people that this is a horrible religion, even though the scripture clearly tells us to love abhor what is evil, cling to that which is good. We have Romans. Romans is one of my favorite books. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful book, especially chapter 12. But that's what religion was for. That's what religion is supposed to do. Every religion ever created, with the exception of Satanism and Luciferian belief, is geared towards how to either reach enlightenment or geared towards treating people kindly. You wish to destroy an institution that teaches us to be kind and replace it with this evolutionary idea of us not being worth much of anything. I'll give you an example. Here is a clip from Jacqueline Glenn, and she's going to tell you how she views the world.
Like, the universe doesn't owe you some grander explanation for the purpose of life. It just is what it is, and you're lucky enough to be here. And I think that's a pretty humble approach that a lot of atheists and scientists take, because we don't feel like we are special. We feel like we're just a speck in a tiny, a tiny Earth in a giant universe. And that is kind of humbling. So, no.
Now, I didn't include Jacqueline Glenn in this video to make her look stupid or to bastardize her position. I mean, she does a fantastic job of doing that by herself. I put this in the video to show you her mindset, and since lots of people agree with her and say they feel the same way she feels, I figured she's a good representative of that ideology. You know, and so when I see the anti-theists speak like this, and it strikes me as odd. It strikes me as odd that you would be able to say that you feel that you are a speck in the universe on this wet rock that flies thousands of miles through literal nothingness. This is your literalistic view of what we are. We literally are these small little creatures on a wet rock hurling through nothingness. That's what's going on right now as it orbits around nothing. Literally, I mean, a lot of people think that the sun is the center of our universe. It's not. It's actually the center of gravity. So sometimes we're actually off-center to the sun, which is very interesting. But yeah, you know, that we're just specks, that ultimately we're worthless in the grander scheme of things. And they're right. We are worthless in the grander scheme of things. If any one of us were to die today, to the universe, our existence means nothing. In fact, our existence means nothing even on Earth. Because eventually we'll die, and lots of people who have died, no one will remember them. No one will remember their name. There are thousands of people who died in World War II that I don't know. Never will know them, right? Yeah, and it's such a horrible humanistic view to view human beings as just other animals, just cattle. This is why they feel that it's alright to give animals certain type of rights, even though the animals themselves wouldn't be able to utilize or actualize the rights, even though the animals themselves don't live in a world of democracy, which is laughable to think that you can give animals rights when they can't even conceive of the idea. You know, you can't tell a tiger he can't attack a lion because it's unconstitutional, right? But even still, you know, you want to replace the world with this left brain ideology, this left brain of science and reasoning being the best thing in the world, that we have to use science to answer all of our questions. Well, newsflash, science doesn't answer all of our questions. It can't answer all of our questions. It can't. So I mean, I can't use science to get back with my ex-girlfriend. There's no formula. There's no test I can conduct that's going to guarantee me success with getting that girl like me back. Wanna know why? Because it's emotional. By definition, by your contrived definition of emotions, it is that which is irrational. In your worldview, emotions has no meaning because it is irrational. If you want a worldview of science and rationality, you want a world without emotion by definition. So we know that we human beings are not beings of simple rationality. We are beings of that which is irrational. We are beings of emotion. Especially women are. You try to have a logical conversation with a woman, and I guarantee you, it won't go the way you hope it to go. Because women don't think logically. Not that they can't, it's that they don't. Women are emotional creatures. You can't reason with a woman the way you can reason with a man. You can't do it. But their emotion still means something. It still has value in the grander scheme of life. At least it should, at least it's supposed to. You know, a woman can make a man feel fantastic, and at the same time can mentally and emotionally destroy him. You know, emotion certainly has place, and you know, and the anti-theists and the religious fundamentalists, they get stuck in the left and the right brain. And, you know, the fundamentalists get stuck in their emotions. You know, so the liberals do too. They get stuck in their emotions, and they have this knee-jerk reaction to everything, and the anti-theists, they get stuck in the science and the rationality, but ironically they are just as emotional as the fundamentalists, whether or not they'd like to admit it. We are beings of emotion. We are beings of the irrational. At the same time, we are beings of intelligence and of logic. The two are not opposites. There are two sides of the same coin. I know, for some odd reason, whenever I look at media, like the new movie Lucy, whenever a character gets more and more intelligent, or Spock's another good example, they lose their emotions. The show The Big Bang Theory is a fantastic example of this. You have a group of men who are exceptionally intelligent, but the entire conflict of the show, every episode can be summed up as these are intelligent men who lack socialization. That is the conflict of The Big Bang Theory. That's the cause of all the comedy. They are smart people, but they lack emotion. They lack the ability to connect and relate with not only each other, but with other people. You know, and so you want to get rid of the religion, the emotion, you know, that teaches us to be nice people, and replace it with this evolutionary scientific view of the world where we're just specks on a wet rock is ludicrous to me, you know, because a lot of people say religion causes all of the problems in the world, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. If you really think religion causes all the problems in the world, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Really, the problems of our world can all be summed down into three different things. And the three problems of the world are: people who don't care about us have power, we don't know what love is, and we can't recognize evil. Those are the three problems of our world. Now, I'm going to have a video on love and on evil, so do not worry, I'll explain them. But those are the real problems. You know, because whenever I hear the anti-theists say that religion causes the problems of the world, I think about my personal life. And then I think about the world. In my personal life, religion has never hurt me. In fact, if it wasn't for my belief in God, I wouldn't be here making this video right now. I would have killed myself a long time ago. And then I look at the world in the grander scheme of things. You know, you have the popes, and the Catholic. If you get rid of religion, you got rid of Catholicism, then yeah, no more popes or Catholic priests would rape the young boys. But then you would have regular pedophiles who do not live in any institution raping young boys. So boys would still be getting raped even without religion. People would still be dying even if it was not in the name of God. People would still be dying even if it wasn't because parents tried to fix their kids with prayer. In fact, you're missing the actual problem when you go for religion. You're affirming the consequence, which is a logical fallacy, by the way. You know, and so that's how I look at the world. When I ask the question, if religion was gone, will the world be better? I say, if religion was gone, will this problem go away? So, for example, people's fear in hell. If religion was gone, if Christianity was gone, no longer would people fear hell. Pedophilic teachers. If religion was gone, would teachers still have sex with their students? Absolutely. The problem is not religion. The problem is with adults being predators. That's what your true fight is against. You know, the anti-theists, they talk about how religion is so horrible, and dogmatic religion is certainly terrible, and that should go away. But religion as a whole, you know, for all the great things that it does and all the things that it teaches us, if you got rid of that, you would not be fixing the world. In fact, you'd be creating another problem. That problem is a lack of empathy and a lack of moral guidelines for us human beings. You know, because I remember I was thinking about this the other day. And that was, if someone called me and they were contemplating suicide. I had a friend of mine, so I say she called me and she was like, I'm getting sick and tired of living. I've been contemplating suicide for a while. I want to die. What logical argument could I put up to her to tell her that she shouldn't die? Because I can't think of one. In fact, I can come up with a logical argument as to why she should die, and honestly, I say, if you do die, well, you will consume less resources. If you do die, well, then ultimately, you know, you won't be able to drive your car anymore, so you won't be hurting the ozone layer. If you die, people who, you know, poor people who could have used the food that you were eating could now get that food. They could get all your resources. If you died, we'd have slightly more oxygen. You know, every bit of oxygen helps. You know, if in fact, if lots of people were to die, well, the world would be in a slightly better place. Scientifically speaking, I mean, this is all the facts, all the evidence provided. Dead people consume less resources than living people. So, let's kill a lot of people. That way we'd have more resources for the ones that are alive. You know, I can't come up with a logical reason as to why I would save someone's life. You know, in fact, I mean, if she called me and said, I want to kill myself, and I told her what Jacqueline said, and I said, well, you are a speck in the universe, and should you die in the grander scheme of things, it wouldn't matter. Would that prevent her from hurting herself? You know, if I say, if you do die, I mean, even though you work at McDonald's, there's 8 billion people in the world. McDonald's can find someone else to hire. You are a dime a dozen. You have no value. There's 8 billion other people in the world that we can pick from. What logical argument could I present to someone to keep them alive? There isn't one. But here's the thing. that girl does matter to somebody. To somebody, she does mean something. To me, she means something. She called me on the phone. To her friends, she means something. There is value in her. And it's nothing you can conduct scientifically to determine her value. That's the value that we humans give to her. She's not a speck in the universe to me. She's not a speck in the universe to her friends, to her boyfriend, to her little sister who looks up to her. To somebody, she's not a speck in the universe. To somebody, she has meaning. But that's emotion. That's irrationality. If you seek to destroy that which is irrational, you seek to destroy that which is emotion, and that is half of our existence as human beings. So, my final conclusion is, if you get rid of religion, would you be fixing the world's problems? No, because most of the world's problems aren't caused by religion. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. And if you guys certainly do disagree with me, instead of writing me an essay, make a video response. And the reason I'm being honest, I don't really like reading a whole bunch of essays. Make a video response to me if you truly disagree with me that much. That being said, adios.